One another betrayal. You are listening at FameTV.info. Shueyu's child, her child was dead, she flopped to the ground with a cry. If possible, she lost all the blood from her face once again, instinctively she holds back the gulp of blood in her throat. Mei. She spat, glaring at the other woman. Calling out the name like it is a curse. In front of her was a young woman and a young man. Their face couldn't be any clearer, Mei Su and Rueei, the young master of the Rong family and the current head of the Su. Shueyu's ex-lover and her sister by anything but blood. What a joke. To think she thought she could escape her fate, she was a fool to think so. Just died peacefully already, Shueyu. Don't make it difficult for us. Mei curled her eyes into a crescent moon. She was as delighted as she can be. Shueyu certainly had a lot of treasure. To think an orphan can amount up all these number of elixir and treasure. Mei had never known Shueyu had such a trickster's hand. Perhaps her face did has a use, Mei laughed in her heart, once she takes all those items away and personally hand them over to her Su family. Mei's lips slightly curved more, watching the smug Mei and a non-difference Rueei from her position, Shueyu really regretted ever being near these two people. She had already died once under the hand of Rueei, why again? This time to someone she thought she can trust. Every single time, it is to someone she trusts. She was being cautious with everything in her second try. Why did she fail? Shueyu had died once, the first time she fell for Rueei's trap and lured the snake into her home, completely destroyed Boundless Depth Valley with her stupidity. Her master had, but as soon as Shueyu was reborn, she had immediately cut ties with Rueei and rushed back to Boundless Depth Valley to redeem herself, to see her master again. How did she end up like this? Shueyu mockingly laughed at herself. Her best friend and sworn sister was the reason for her downfall the first life. She simply didn't know and thought it was only Rueei's pure greed that killed her the first time. The night she rushed back to Boundless Depth Valley, she had told Mei her plan and promised to return to visit. Promised to return to visit, what a joke that was, Shueyu bitterly thought, how naive she was. Died twice to the same hands, resentment and anger blossomed within Shueyu's heart. She is unwilling to die like this again. Unwilling to let them rest in peace. Unwilling for them to laugh upon her grave, Shueyu struggled to hold her body upward to face the duo. Injuries hugged her skin like tattoos, her hair was a mess, her cultivation sealed, and she had just lost a child. Everything seemed to pull her down to hell, but she willed herself to stare at them in the eye. She wanted them to know how much she resented, how much hatred she reserved for them. Her glare caused Mei's face to slightly turn. Mei immediately lost her smile. Mei looked disturbed and unsettled. It almost made Shueyu smiles. She knowed, Mei can never forget this moment, her death will be Mei's worst nightmares. The thought made Shueyu smiled. Mei Su, Rueei, you will definitely meet your ends. You will die without a grave. Her voice lowly rasped. She knew Mei Su and Rueei heard her, she knew their capabilities. Mei, let's go. Rueei next to Mei, rushed. He tugged on Mei's arm as his brows tightened. Shueyu's eyes were disturbing right now. As if snapping out of a trance, Mei sucked in a breath, turned and flew off. Her beautiful flaming red dress danced with fire as she retreated. Shueyu laughed, evidently more disturbed by the off-putting action. Rueei quickly left, not sparing a glance for poor Shueyu on the floor. Shueyu's laughs continued to echo within deafening valley. She had truly gone mad. A lover betrayal and a non-existent sisterhood. Shueyu felt like she had hit the jackpot full of misfortune. Heaven truly does not have eyes. Why does it have to be her? Her child got nothing to do with this. Why did this her tribulation? The fire fueled, and the silhouettes had quickly disappeared. Shueyu had quieted down, she just laid there motionlessly, contemplating. Her fair face had already been burned. Everything was it her fate to remain at Boundless Depth Valley? Was this the retribution she deserves? She thought she could change her fate this time around. She truly thought so. If there is another chance. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info. direct link in the description.